Hi everyone, and welcome back to my pregnancy vlogs. Now, I have been a bit bad and skipped a week, but it doesn't really matter. I'm still in two minds at the moment. Like, I think when I get to the end of the first trimester, I might try and do my updates like every fortnight, because like the last couple of weeks have just been consistent hell, if I'm honest, and I don't know really how frequently things are going to change, so I thought I would just like see how it goes. But the reason why I haven't really done any updates for like from 6 weeks to 8 weeks, which is what I am now, is because I feel like death. I feel so tired, and it's really difficult to like carry on with everything like nothing has changed. Like, if you follow me on my blog or any of this sort of social media stuff, you'll know that conveniently with like being pregnant, which I'm so blessed and lucky for, we're also conveniently having our house like renovated. And I'm not just talking about like, you know, decorating a few rooms or anything like that. We are having walls knocked down, rooms built, like electrics done. And if you've seen on my channel like a few weeks back, you'll have seen like a tour of the state that the house is in, and it's really challenging to do all of that at once. Now, we didn't expect to conceive as quickly as we did at all, and it's become kind of like just one of those, not like bad timing by any means, but it is what it is. But it's very challenging. I am now at the point where I am constantly nauseous, and I have been since week 6, and it doesn't show signs of changing anytime soon. Sorry, I do these like pregnancy sicky burps all the time, and they're horrible. So yeah, like ever since I turned 6 weeks, I started feeling really tired and really sick. Now, with William, when I was pregnant with him, I found out at 6 weeks, which was weird because I wasn't, you know, I wasn't planning for a child. It was like complete surprise. So it's weird to already to think that I've known that I've been pregnant now for like way longer than I ever knew with him. And it was 6 weeks where all of these symptoms started, and I felt sick, and I was sick. And then obviously that led me to take a test and find out that I was going to be a mum. Whereas this time around, it's like, I knew it was coming, and I was getting so nervous about approaching 6 weeks, and it just hit me. Gradually, admittedly, to start with, but now it's just, it's hard. I don't want to get upset, because like I do want to just kind of like cry and be like, oh, I feel so bad, but I am so grateful to be pregnant, but it's so hard. With this baby, I am nauseous all the time. I don't really get a relief from it, and it's literally from the minute I wake up to the moment I go to bed until the moment I wake up for about a million wheeze, which is still happening every night, and it's difficult. Whereas with William, I had like sick days, and I had good days, like good and bad days. So some days I would wake up and puke everywhere and lie on the bathroom floor and cry, and I actually had like more days off work, I think, with him. And then the next day I would be feeling much better. But with him as well, I had a lot of cravings that were all like very strict as to what I could eat. I had a lot and then I had a lot of aversions as well. So it was like kind of, I could only eat certain things. Like I always ate spaghetti and like tinned meatballs that you could get by like Matheson's or something stupid like that, and I would eat that constantly with cheese, and it was literally one of the only things I could eat, as with pot noodles. It was very weird. And then drink wise, my craving was iron brew. So that would be what it was like, and like it was just a cycle that I got used to. And in a way, being sick and getting it out of your system is sometimes better than like just being nauseous all the time, because in the past like 2 weeks I've only been sick like twice, I think, but the nausea just sticks with me. And like, you know, when you feel sick, you are sick, you feel better, don't you, for the most part. Whereas this time round, I just feel like awful. I feel like I'm dragging myself through the days, and I have cried and got upset, and I have had a day off work. I've really struggled, and I just couldn't go in because I woke up one morning, just threw up, and then that was it. I had like cold sweats, and I felt really unwell, and it's just not been great. So like, I don't know, I find it harder this time, and maybe it's because of the situation I'm in. Like, my house is an absolute state. I'm living with my mum and dad again in my teenage bedroom. Hey. And I have a child of my own already, and it's just, I think it's a lot to cope with, and emotionally I'm really struggling. But other symptoms wise, as well as like sickness and exhaustion, which gets me into bed by 8:30, oh, I've got like pregnancy acne, which you probably can't see from the angle that I'm at now. Excuse the state of me, by the way. I tried to put makeup on and do my hair, and then just left it damp and did half a face because I can't be bothered, and I'm sorry. But yeah, the acne started and it got worse. It started around week 6 and it's just getting worse and worse now. I'm getting like really sore ones. Like, I've got one here at the moment. It's like a big like sore lump, and I've even got one that started on my ear, which is weird. And it's not like me, like, have quite oily skin, and I do get spots from time to time, but I don't get like big patches of them. So it's really, you know, when you feel bloated and fat anyway and you're not feeling very confident, like, then you just get bad skin and then you feel 10 times worse. I am very bloated and constipated still. I actually don't know what it feels like to have a good poo anymore. Like, I feel like I just go and like sit on the toilet and like wait for an eternity, and then like literally barely anything comes out, and I'm like, that's it. Like, why why am I so bloated? I'm eating so much food, where's it going? And that's another thing, I have to eat like little and often, like every couple of hours, or I will feel even worse, and it's the only way I can get through work at the moment. And like, my colleagues will be talking to me or will be trying to concentrate on a piece of work, and I'm just like literally trying not to like feel sick or look sick to people. It's so hard. The worst thing as well is that I think the constipation is also as a result of my dehydration, because I am not able to drink anything really. Like, everything just makes me feel sick, and like I gag when I drink, whereas eating's not so much of a problem. I'm getting relief in milkshakes, but like by that I mean like semi-skim milk with like Crusher or Nesquik, rather than like a big thick gloopy milkshake, which the thought of makes me feel sick right now. In fact, thinking of that has made me think that maybe ice cream and stuff like that is a bit of an aversion, because that doesn't sound good to me at all. But yeah, that has helped a little bit. I guess the milk is settling my stomach. But anything else, unless it's ice cold, and I have to sip a bit and see if it goes down okay, but it's a challenge. It doesn't matter if it's water, if it's like fruit juice, if it's like fizzy pop. Like with William, I craved iron brew all the time, whereas with this baby it's like I'm really struggling and I'm so thirsty, but it's just not going down. And I know that if like I really persisted, maybe it would make me feel better, but I'm just so frightened of being sick, particularly at work, when, you know, I can't just guzzle a drink and hope it'll stay down, because I don't want to rush off to like the communal toilets that we have that are like in the office. Like, you would hear me being sick, and I really don't want that embarrassment, and I don't want people to know yet either. So that is a really weird thing for me. I have had the first midwife appointment, and that was really lovely. Like, the first one was just to catch up, and it ended up being with the midwife that I had last time, called Louise, and she is so nice, and I just wanted to squeeze her when I saw her, and it made me really happy. With that appointment, I got like my little booklet thing that you get, you know, with all your appointments in it. Actually, I'll go and get it for you, one sec. So I got this bad boy, this folder, and it had everything in. So I've sent my bloods off for screenings for Down's syndrome, Edwards syndrome and Patau syndrome. They have introduced Edwards and Patau's into the screening now, so I've had that done, and she's confirmed my due date of the 22nd for now, based on my last menstrual period, which was nice. And I've decided to go back to the hospital that I had William at, because basically when I had William I lived in Macclesfield, so it made sense for me to have him at Macclesfield, because the hospital was like so close to my house, like you could almost see it, it was that close. Whereas now I live in a village that is in between Macclesfield and in between Stockport. Now, it's kind of equidistant between the two, so I could go to either, and I was really undecided. But after speaking to her and knowing that her team is based in Macclesfield but obviously works in surrounding villages, she's more likely to be with me in my labour if I go to Macclesfield, whereas otherwise if I went to Stockport I'd have to be handed over to a different team. So it made it really easy for me. So that was great. So I've had all my bloods done, my urine done, like pregnancy's all on the go and confirmed, and I've got a scan date, which is keeping me going, to be honest, even though it's still like a month away, but it's the 13th of October. So it's not long after my parents' anniversary, which will be nice. And I just really hope that this little baby's on the screen and is okay and is growing well. I'm pretty sure there's only one baby, even though there's a big sort of trend of twins in my family. I just don't think that there's 2 babies, but there might be. The only thing I am thinking is that this baby could be a girl, and that's a very early estimation, but only because, like, as I said earlier, with William's pregnancy I felt so different at this point. I'm constantly nauseous at the moment. I think my skin's worse, whereas with him it was touch and go at times, and it did seem to, even though it's a bit of a distant memory now, be a little bit, like, not easier but a bit more manageable, I don't know. And my cravings are like different this time around in that I can eat quite a lot of foods, but with him it was very certain things, so who knows. But I do think it could possibly be a girl, or and if we've got any doctors among us, or like nurses, midwives, whatever. Obviously I had William with his dad, and I'm having this baby with Mark. Does like that mean that the William sperm was like a nicer sperm than this sperm? Like, has Mark got evil sperm? I don't know. And that's probably a bit like out there, but I don't know if that makes a difference. And at the same time, like, every pregnancy is different and I have no idea really. I do think if you asked me to bet money, it would probably go on girl, so we shall see. Let me know in the comments below what you think I'm having, even if it's just like a random guess or it's just a vibe, who knows. But yeah, that is everything. Now I will quickly try and find like just a bit of an update on how baby's doing, because that is, well, that's nice, isn't it? So now baby is 8 weeks and is about the size of a kidney bean and is moving and shifting, even though I won't be able to feel it yet. And baby has eyelids almost covering her eyes and breathing tubes and developing lungs, and in the brain nerve cells are beginning to connect with one another, which is like, it's crazy. I just still can't actually even comprehend that there's like this little being in my tummy. But if this helps you to imagine, this is what baby looks like now, which is like not really that different, but kind of cute, kind of babyish. So thank you so much for watching, and sorry that I missed 2 weeks out, but if you do have any questions then please leave them down below, because to be honest I am like running out of people to talk baby with. I do have one friend who's amazing who I talk to pretty much every day, but I just want to talk about stuff, and I would love to know your experiences, whether or not like you guessed you were right, whether you had a boy or a girl or things like that. And if you got any recommendations for nausea, I mean, by the time I find out that the baby's okay, I'll be 12-ish weeks, like just over 12, like 12 and a half weeks is when my scan will be. So it's a good chance that I will still be feeling sick, because I was with William up until about 16 weeks. So if you've got any like advice, then please send it my way. And make sure you subscribe to follow our journey if you want to find out a little bit more and see what happens by the end of this pregnancy, because hopefully it'll be a really cute baby that I can cuddle and squish. But yeah, oh, one thing I forgot to do was show you my belly. Now I'm only 8 weeks and I'm pretty sure like any bloat that you see is just because I really need a poo and I can't go because I'm constipated. Yay. So that was really TMI. But anyway, I'll show you my tummy and you can see what you think. So this is my 8-week belly. Now you can see here like all of my stomach has shunted up a little bit, and I definitely feel full up here. It doesn't really look that much different from last time, but you can see where my waist is going in. You can see that I'm getting like a bit bloated here, but for the most part it's mainly just bloating, I think, but we shall see. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.